Hey guys, Ben Williams here. Let's talk a little bit about crypto today. I'm not on here to shill anything, not on here to give you any tips, hints, or pump anything. Let's talk about reality. Let's talk about real stuff. No fun, no fun. All right, so Bitconnect finally did its thing and crashed 90%. And a lot of people out there, I've seen some YouTube videos of "Don't panic, guys. It's gonna be okay." I'm not here to tell you it's gonna be okay. I saw Trevon James bought the dip. Your fearless leader. But Bitconnect isn't going to zero, but it's going to go really close to it. And I might be laughing, but I'm just glad it's over. A lot of that celebration wasn't because we were happy. It was more like we were relieved that the market did what it needed to do, and kept that thing from getting bigger. Unfortunately, it got huge. And a lot of innocent people that were ignorant of how to invest, and just ran into the market because they saw Craig Grant's YouTube videos and Crypto Nick's YouTube videos, and they all promoted it. All three of them, they'll all say, they'll all sit there and say, you shouldn't have put in money you can't afford to lose. Well, not everyone's, I'm going to, when I make a YouTube video, I'm going to not assume that everyone watching my YouTube videos is a avid investor, or I'm going to assume that, as a matter of fact, this is cryptocurrency. I'm talking to a lot of people that are looking to invest their own money for the very first time. So with that in mind, I'm accepting responsibility for anything that I say. And that's why I quit making YouTube videos. I took a lot of them down from 10, 12, 14, 15 months ago. Just because I was starting to get a lot of questions on what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I decided I just wanted to be responsible for myself. Now, to all of you guys that got kicked in the nuts with this Bitconnect thing, my advice to you is, you do what you want, but hopefully you learned a lesson. I'll tell you a story about my first attempt to invest my own money on E-Trade. Was I bought oil stocks because I was working in the oil field, and yeah, I was like, I'll stick $15,000 into a few of these oil stocks that I knew were good, viable companies. Well, I didn't understand the value, how markets can get way overvalued and then become way undervalued, and how things go from one extreme to the other. Oil is trading around $80, and I bought some junior oil stocks, and Some of them were $13, some of them were $5 a share, whatever. But long story short, oil prices crashed down to like $28 a barrel, and that was a hard lesson. I did a lot of research, and I took the time to educate myself, because as a middle class American, no one's going to educate you on markets. It's kind of a weird thing. It's like everyone shuts you out of how to properly speculate, unless you come from a family of speculators, and that that it's easy. It's second nature to those people. For guys like me, I had to go through the school of hard knocks. So I got into crypto in 2014, 15, 16, just with my spare change. And then crypto kind of took off. And, it was like, one bull market died, and that was oil. And then, the crypto markets were they just started taking off. Quit my job out there in the oil fields of North Dakota, and then made enough money to be able to just come back home, be with my friends and family. But I was telling anyone who would listen about the great investment opportunities of cryptocurrencies, and how they will disrupt financial services. One way to speculate on the markets, and you got to keep this in mind, after the first Bitcoin bust, and there was another one before this, they don't talk about that much. Not even very many price charts show it. But Bitcoin went from $80 to $1,300, and then it crashed, and then it went all the way down to like less than $200 for a little while. And I bought my first 2 Bitcoin for $600, because I was like, man, this is going to be a good investment. And sure enough, it kept crashing. And I bought a little. It taught me to just buy a little bit at a time. $50 here, $100 there, whatever. And started researching like what is really why Bitcoin was valuable. And then I value propositioned it based off of what it could do compared to PayPal, and PayPal had a market capitalization of like roughly $100 billion, and I think at that time Bitcoin was worth like, I don't know, 10 billion, maybe, I don't know, I don't remember. It was barely, I don't even think it was worth 10 billion. So I knew that the value proposition was roughly 10x once this was realized, and other ones like that. And I didn't buy into the store of value. This is technology. But one way to think about cryptocurrency is its ability to penetrate and serve everyone from every class who has an internet connection. Basically, the potential to bank the poorest people in the world. And I do believe that blockchain was not, the value of blockchain isn't for banks. It's to be your own bank. Banking services will exist on the blockchain. As this market matures, you'll find value in things that are decentralized, meaning no central point of power that's valuable. Well, I'll go into that in a different video. Scalable and fast and cheap. No one wants to be, if you got a brain on you, you know you don't want to be controlled or told what to do with your money. You just don't. We should have personal freedoms and privacy. So if I'm working, if I'm from a third world country and I don't have access to a good bank, or and in the next 5 years they come out with with cheap phones, and I've got an internet connection, I would be making my $100 a week, and I would be freaking turning that into cryptocurrency as fast as I could, and I would look for something that offers a smart, stable store of value on the blockchain, and I would store my wealth there. And then, there's people that are going to have talents for speculating and value to people in third world countries. They look at value every cent. They're looking for every cent of value that they can get because money's important to them, and storing it has been something that they haven't been able to ever do in the past, and they don't trust, nor should they, a central authority of any kind to promise them that this will be worth X, because it's never worked for them. Their governments have failed them. So that's where I think value lies in blockchain and cryptocurrencies is its ability to service everyone equally, no matter what class of or income you are. It has the potential to do that, and that's real value. I mean, that's something that you will get rewarded for investing in those things because they will change people's lives, and you will be rewarded financially. I mean, in the long-term grand scheme of things. Now, I don't know what this market's going to do in the short term. Right now, we need to get people educated, and the only way to do that is to wring out the greed and go back to the boring market. And I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing that at all, one bit. It'll take people time, and they'll have more time to think of what's valuable and why, and why this movement towards decentralization began in the first place. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. Ben Williams, I'm out.